What's good, Sixers Nation? Welcome on into NZ for 3, and today we will be recapping the Sixers preseason and thank the heavens that it is finally over and we can just relax for just a little bit until the season starts on Wednesday against the Milwaukee Bucks in South Philadelphia, and these games will actually start to matter because this was the most unnecessarily stressful period of exhibition matches I have ever witnessed. Not only did they start out playing the New Zealand Breakers, who, by the way, have NZ in their logo, and it kind of reminds me of a certain Sixers YouTuber who you should subscribe to and like all of his videos on because his audio no longer sounds like it was recorded with a screwdriver, but I digress. So yeah, they started off playing against an international team who they absolutely demolished, but then because the sports gods hate Philadelphia and hate Philadelphia fans, they decided to bestow upon us some pretty tragic news that may have some serious implications for the Sixers moving forward, but also some pretty good stuff as well that we're going to break down in today's video. And also stick around for the end of the video as I will be announcing a huge channel announcement. Now, although the preseason really does not matter in the long run at all, we're going to forget in a couple of months anyway. The Sixers did not leave without some scars, as Tyrese Maxey did get injured in this game against the Orlando Magic. Just got to get that out of the way. It really sucks, and I was just really confused as to why the starters were playing in last night's game. I guess Nick Nurse just decided, hey, I'm just going to throw the starters out, let them get some more conditioning before the season starts. Thank goodness Joel Embiid did not play at all because given the Sixers' luck throughout this preseason, he probably would have gotten injured as well. Not only is Jared McCain down, Paul George is down as well, and Tyrese Maxey. Hopefully they can all be ready by the time the season opener begins on Wednesday. But yeah, just really sucks to see Maxey out of the action, and I'm really just excited to see him develop even more as a player and as a main scoring option this season, and to have this setback, although, it is minor. I don't think it's really nothing serious to worry about. It just kind of does suck that the Sixers are sort of coming into this season with a little bit of uncertainty regarding their durability. You got Paul George, although there's no structural damage to his knee. He's probably may miss the season opener, but then you got Joel Embiid too, with the growing concerns with his knee as well, and just the uncertainty around whether he is absolutely 100% ready to go by Wednesday. So it's definitely a little stressful to know that the Sixers are kind of coming into the season hobbled and all of that. So hopefully things could all work out. Maybe I'm just overthinking this and it's not that deep. But, we'll just see when the season starts. But yeah, Tyrese Maxey did get injured during this game. And I was just really confused as to why the starters were playing in the first place. For just the game in general, there really is not much to write home about. Andre Drummond did have 20 rebounds, and that is cool to see because he's an absolute beast, and we really need to appreciate that Andre Drummond is back in Philadelphia and that the Sixers have an actual backup center that they can rely on for when Joel Embiid hits the bench, because we know you can't replace Joel Embiid's impact no matter what you do. He's just that impactful and that fantastic of a player who does so many amazing things on your basketball team, who just makes your jaw drop every single possession, every time he gets the ball in his hands. But Andre Drummond is one of the best backup centers you can get, and I'm really happy that he's back here in Philadelphia. He's been really impressive throughout this preseason. I think that the roster construction is really going to help Drummond. The less that he has to do, the less that his weaknesses, his sort of clumsiness is going to be exploited, the more he can just focus on doing what he does best, and that is cleaning the glass. So I'm really glad that Andre Drummond is back here with the Sixers where he belongs. But yeah, there really isn't much to write home from this game. You had Kelly Oubre Jr. He had 17 points. I'm really interested to see what his role is going to be with the Sixers now that they have Caleb Martin, who is just another experienced wing in his prime, who has been to the postseason and is going to really be a solid glue guy for the Sixers. So, Kelly, when he has the ball in his hands, he could do some pretty solid things, but a lot of times it can look pretty rough with his, three-point shooting. He's one of the streakiest shooters in the league, so it will be interesting to see how Kelly fits into the mold. So far, I do think he has the versatility to be a solid on-ball defender and all of that. and he has been a pretty solid catch and shoot player, at least for what his expectations are. We're not asking him to be Steph Curry or anything, but yeah, Kelly Oubre is just another Swiss Army knife that the Sixers can rely on. He has really been impressing me just with his tenacity and ability to go to the rim, drive to the rim, absorb all of that contact and stuff. And speaking of tenacity, we got to now talk about Jared McCain, who has been getting a lot of praise from not only the Sixers veterans, but Nick Nurse himself. Shout out to Cody Taylor. He said that according to Sixers coach Nick Nurse, he did get on the treadmill and run today without any issues. So this is actually, I got the links messed up. It was a report on his injury that he had against the Brooklyn Nets, his scary fall where he was, fell on his spine and all of that, which is really scary. But I guess he is doing better now. Next step is get him on the court tomorrow to see how he is progressing. I think from where we thought maybe that thing would be, it is pretty positive news. So yeah, it is cool to see Jared McCain, getting back into the swing of things. It's good to see that fall was not too bad and that is not too much of a setback for him. And Jared McCain, he has really impressed me throughout this preseason. Now, I'm not trying to to my own horn or anything, but I was one of the few people who actually liked the Jared McCain pick at the time. I know there was a lot of controversy with his draft selection, especially when you had a guy like Dalton Connect on the board as well, who was who's a solid 6'6" wing who could space the floor and all of that. But Jared McCain, from what I've seen with him in the preseason, I know it's the preseason, it doesn't matter and all of that, but this is the first time we're seeing these guys. So, I mean, just take it with a grain of salt. But from what I have seen against Jared McCain, he has been really solid. He has really been showing me that he could be a solid, capable NBA player. Now, I think like the reaction that we had to him, it sort of depended on what you saw out of him in college. I saw him drop like 35 points against Florida State and all of that, and it was just one game, but I did see that this guy has a bunch of range, and he is an absolute baller, and he could be a really solid combo guard in the NBA. And Nick Nurse does have some high praise for him, saying that he is a warrior and a tough, hard-nosed player. And I 100% agree. McCain has been showing that he has a lot of toughness within him, and he is built to play in Philadelphia, where the fans, they demand night in and night out that you put in 100% effort, and if you don't, we're going to boo you. But I think McCain understands that, and he has a lot of heart. He goes to the rim with ferocity. He is not afraid to absorb any contact at all, and he has a short memory as well. So despite him having some bad shooting nights, from time to time, he just keeps hoisting those three-pointers, so it's good to see that he has some confidence. Just taking a look at his stats compared to a lot of the rookies, I just thought the McCain pick, it was a good pick. Did Daryl Morey overthink things a bit? Possibly, yeah. I mean, you had Dalton Connect on the board, and it sort of was the obvious pick, given that he was like 23 years old, came from a good program, was a well-known player. Everyone knew his skill set and what he could provide to the NBA, and he could help your team win now because he was he was going through the ranks in college, had a lot of experience, in a winning program and all of that. And he has really been showing out in this preseason. If you take a look, he's been shooting 10 three-pointers a game on 36% shooting. Now, he's probably not going to be doing that during the actual NBA season because of, the minutes distribution and all of that. But yeah, Dalton Connect has been really solid. So was he probably the best pick for the Sixers? Yes, he probably was. But I'm not complaining about the McCain pick at all. He has been really solid throughout the preseason. I've just really been liking his just overall grit, just his hustling, and just his short-term memory, and just his ability to keep going and not let the game get inside his head. What really stands out to me is his rebounding numbers. So McCain was actually a really solid rebounding guard in college, and so far at least that seems to be translating into the NBA. So just, rebounding, it's a hustle thing, and McCain has definitely been showing that he can crash the glass from time to time, and just his ability to absorb contact, go to the rim, get physical with guys. There are a couple of times where he was taking elite perimeter defenders like Drew Holiday and Derek White to the rim, and finishing and stuff. And he has been solid with his three-point stroke, shooting 38% on 6 attempts per game. So yeah, McCain has been a little inefficient in all of that, had more turnovers than assists. But, it's something you kind of expect out of a rookie who's adjusting to the NBA, the new pace, the physicality, and all of the talented players, because he is playing and going up against the most talented athletes in the entire world. So it's going to take a lot of time for him to adjust and sort of go fit into his mold. And it'll be really interesting to see what Nick Nurse does with him this season, because the Sixers, they really do have a unique sort of lineup with all of their guards and backup guard spots, because you got Reggie Jackson and Kyle Lowry who are getting up there in age. So who knows about their durability throughout the season. Now, we do know that Nick Nurse does like to defer to his veteran players and puts a lot of trust in them. He put a lot of trust in Lowry last year, given, even if that was maybe just a lack of troops in general, given the lack of depth that the Sixers had that year. But yeah, so with Lowry's reduced role and maybe Reggie Jackson getting some time throughout the season, who knows whether McCain will get some run, but I really hope he does, because I really want to see him develop his game more, and I really think that he can really develop into a solid NBA player. He has been getting a lot of comparisons to, Seth Curry and all of that, but I really think he could also develop into like an Eric Gordon type of guy. I've seen McCain really do more than just be a catch and shoot player. He has shown a lot of ability to create off the ball and do things on his own when the offense gets stagnant and all of that. And that is what Eric Gordon has been doing his entire career. And it's cool to see that Eric Gordon is here on the Sixers and he can mentor Jared McCain and, show him the ropes and all of that. So yeah, I've been, high on Jared McCain going into the draft, and once he was picked, I was like, yeah, that's a good pick. Should have picked Dolan Connect, but no, McCain is cool, and he has definitely performed really well throughout the preseason. I'm looking forward to what he can do with the Sixers going forward. Last but not least, I want to give a huge shout out to my guy, Guerschon Yabusele, who has really been showing out in this preseason as well. And the expectations that I had for him, I thought that, he impressed me more on the offensive end of the floor than I thought he was going to, but did not impress me as much on the defensive end. But it was still cool anyway, because he has really been playing solid in these preseason matchups. So yeah, take the preseason with a grain of salt, all of that. But yeah, Yabusele, what I'm most happy about with him is that his three-point shot seems to be translating into the NBA really smoothly. The FIBA three-point line is shorter and all of that. So I feared that when coming back to the NBA, that it would have been shaken up a bit, and that was something that he had to adjust to. But not at all. His stroke has been nice, and he has been shooting at a pretty solid clip. Three-pointers taken per game throughout the preseason, shooting 44% from three, which is really solid. And he's also been grabbing 5 rebounds, averaging 9 or so points and getting all of that. So he's been, having a really solid all-around performance. And it's good that Yabu is here, just an athletic power forward off the bench. I don't think you could really slot him in at the center position. I just think he's kind of just a little too slow and a little too small to match up against the bigger centers in the NBA. But yeah, Yabusele, he's definitely been solid. Had a lot of really cool dunks and all of that. You like to see guys actually get off the floor and dunk the ball from time to time. Something the Sixers have not had in a while, but they do have that now with, the Cale Martins of the world, the Kelly Oubres, the Yabuseles, the Ricky Councils, and all of that. So yeah, a lot of high flyers on this Sixers team, and yeah, happy Yabu is here. Last but not least, I'm excited to announce that starting this season, I will start doing live Sixers watch-along live streams on YouTube. Come hang out with me as we talk about the Sixers as they are playing. I'll be doing a play-by-play and analysis, and also be interacting with you guys in the chat, so be sure to come on in and hang out with me. Or if you just hate my voice, you can go watch someone else's stream. Honestly, I don't blame you, but I just want to let everyone know that starting this season, I will start covering the Sixers live on YouTube. I'll be unable to do the first game against the Milwaukee Bucks, unfortunately. It is what it is, but I will be live streaming the Sixers-Raptors game on Friday. Anyway, that's all I got. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.